Good day. Welcome to Video PR. Today we're talking about gold and gold mining to be specific, and my guest is Mr. Darren Davidson. He's the CEO of Pacific Placer Gold Corporation. Welcome,
Hi,
Darren.
Kim. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So your mission statement says that you're environmentally, ethically, and economically responsible from the ground down.
From the ground down.
Fantastic.
Right.
Tell us what that means.
Well, environmentally, we're a mining company, so from the ground down just kind of had a quirky little twist to it. But environmentally, there is an issue in the area that we're working in British Columbia. It's a caribou area, mating, rutting, that kind of stuff. So environmentally, responsibility is key because permits and things are required in these areas. So by going underneath, British Columbia has a geological shelf of clay that supports the earth above it. So we're allowed to go underneath that to get to the bedrock, which in a placer mine is where your pay gravels are at.
Okay, so let's explain that a little further now. Placer mining is usually you scrape away the surface dirt to get at the gold below, and then you have all this overburden and everything that's involved, and of course you're disturbing your environment. So what you're describing then is that you leave the surface soil alone and go
totally
underneath.
Left alone. Normally they would, what you're talking about is an open pit mine where they tear the ground apart.
Right.
They remove all the glacial debris from there, and that allows them access to the bedrock.
Right.
By utilizing the underground method, this allows us to go underneath all of that, not disturb it in any way, so everything from earthworms to owls are safe. From an environmental standpoint.
Okay, so you know, when most people think about mining, you think about mining shafts and big things going on. It sounds very expensive, but this is actually a more economical way to get at the gold beneath. So that's where the economies come in.
Economically, you're normally running all sorts of big machines, bulldozers, excavators, trucks, pumps, all sorts of things. And the bigger machines tend to cost a lot to run. We're actually using one main machine, which is called a road header, which will allow us to tunnel down underneath the clay shelf that I spoke about, thereby saving a lot of money. And ethically, I mean, that's just part of business. Every company should operate ethically. It goes without saying.
So when you think placer mining, this is different. This
For
is
sure.
a unique 100%, way of doing it.
180
and it's
degree.
The future of placer mining, I would expect.
Yep. Yeah. I hope so.
Okay, great. So now, how long have you been in the mining business?
I've been in mining specifically since my early 20s. Investor relations, my own personal investments.
Right.
Right when I finished my business degrees, I went right into mining. I don't know why I gravitated towards precious metals, but I did, and that's
I understand you had a fascination with gold when you were very young.
I did, yeah, when I was really young, because of my father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your partner, Paul Webster, you've also known him for a long time, since you were 9 years old, I understand.
Paul Webster?
Paul Webster, yeah. Paul,
since we were in grade 9.
Since you were in grade 9.
Yeah.
So that must be great. The two of you are working together now, and his skill sets. Tell us about Paul and about your team. Now, you've put together quite a great team, as I've been talking to you and Paul about the folks that you've been able to bring to the table on this deal. That's
right. We have actually 2 different geologists, so that we can kind of incorporate the 2 heads are better than one idea. And myself and Paul Webster, like I've mentioned previously, he kind of has the heavy equipment, the running those blue collar groups of individuals, the machines,
big groups of people
exactly,
right.
So he kind of brought that to the table, and I tend to stay focused in the business end of things, so making sure the till's protected and that type of stuff. So we really do complement each other quite well. He's actually on site right now with one of our geologists, Terry Garrow. They're kind of putting the finishing pieces on the work proposal that we'll submit to the Ministry of Mines.
And it's Terry, I understand, that has the experience in this type of mining.
In underground mining. In the placer world.
In the placer world.
It's obviously something in the hard rock world that they do all the time because they have to. They go through the bedrock and down. But in a placer scenario, they usually just tear the ground apart.
Right.
And the thing about it is you're real dependent on the price of gold at that point, because if the ground's too deep and it costs you too much to run your machines and your crews to get to the gold, if you go underground and the geological can support that, then the fluctuating price of gold, especially the way it's been lately, is not really as key of a factor as it would be in an open pit mining.
Okay, well that's the mission and how you how you get there environmentally, ethically, and economically responsible, and
That's
also,
right.
you know, a more efficient mining method. It sounds great. When do you break ground?
We are actually going to be in the end of June is when we're mandated for. We're going to put some drill holes up there so we can continue to do our bulk sampling, which is kind of the most important part. We need to know which areas are rich, where our tertiary channel is.
Right.
There's actually 4 channels on the property that we want to eventually uncover. So that's obviously a longer plan than just breaking ground, but we will have results end of June.
Wow. So pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
It's
coming up really, really quick, actually.
It's April now.
I'm pretty excited about
Okay,
it.
fantastic. What's the future? You want to give us a little bit of a synopsis on where you feel it's going to go with Placer?
For sure. What we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to drill in June. From there, we'll tunnel under, will allow us to take a bulk sample. Once we have that bulk sample, we'll release a new 43101, which is proven, possible, and probable reserves that are on the property from a gold ore standpoint. Once we've released that, round 2 and 3 of our financing efforts will begin. We believe firmly, based on bordering properties and their production, we believe firmly that our recoveries will allow us to self-finance, but we do have the financing kind of all our ducks in a row, so to speak. But and from there, we'll use that revenue to fund the hard rock exploration. Now, hard rock's a lot different, like you said, than placer mining, but
so this could evolve into that.
Exactly, and when that comes to fruition, realistically, we're not hard rock miners. We don't have the finances to hard rock mine,
So is this
but
where
it'll
the exit
definitely make
strategy
us.
comes
It
in?
is
Yeah,
for sure.
okay.
Definitely a liquidity strategy,
Right,
but the sale of the company is ultimately what we're looking for, and that's about a 5-year plan.
Great, fantastic. Well, listen, thank you for this.
Yeah.
If you want to know more information about Pacific Placer Gold Corporation, of course, there's a website up now and some information.
You got
we
it.
expect to be doing this on a regular basis.
Regularly.
So stay tuned, and thank you very much.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Take care.